Welcome to this preview from windowsontheworld.net. Tonight we're going to be doing a follow-up to our last show in the archive, which was called the Brotherhood of Cain, where we described the management concepts, the concepts of law, the concepts about the ordering of society, and the way the public have been steered into false belief systems and belief systems which are deceptive. We talk about the real and the stated goals. In other words, there is always an ulterior motive behind what is called the common good. And I think the last 2 years have really proved that. Tonight, we're going to go a bit deeper into all this and expand on our last show in the archive, the Brotherhood of Cain. Incidentally, please do subscribe to us on Spreaker, which is where our Sunday shows originate at windowsontheworld.net on our live shows page. We're also getting people away from YouTube and onto Odyssey, which is very good. We have a Odyssey channel, Windows on the World :8. Or to make it easier, just go to windowsontheworld.net and all the links you need are on the first part of the homepage, along, of course, with our huge archive, which includes everything we've ever done, which is a bit like an encyclopedia of interlinking information. That's the best way I can describe it, because most of the shows are not time sensitive. They are about times in history and the relevance to those particular times, really, as they are compared to the present moment. So please join us 9:30 p.m. tonight, Sunday, and every Sunday 9:30 p.m. windowsontheworld.net. And tonight's show is going to be talking about how biblical concepts of law have been usurped and what that really means, because in effect we are in a time where, well, let's call it what it is, the end of law as people know it. We're talking about a system which basically consumes everything. If you're outside that system, if you're outside the belief system which is imposed, the fake narrative of reality, the consensus reality, then you are to be demonized. We talked about how all this was achieved last week and the ongoing plan for that. And we can get into some really spoken law or written law. That's very good, actually, Grace. And thanks for your email. I think I did send a reply to that. And if anyone does want to get in touch, incidentally, please get in touch at info@windowsontheworld.net. And I'm always available to talk, or I can make myself available. We have a Discord channel as well, all on the homepage, Windows on the World. So yeah, written and oral law. Very interesting point there, Grace, because of course, there are two types of Torah, for instance, in Judaism. There is oral Torah and the written Torah, both completely different. And a lot of people don't realize this, that we're talking about systems which are kind of deceptive. And we're going to get into a lot of that tonight. Am I streaming it anywhere? Live streaming it? Well, yes, as I just said at the beginning of the show, and every week when I do one of these, we're always live every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. UK time. We are always live at windowsontheworld.net. And please join us on our other platforms, because we do not upload our Sunday shows to Spreaker. To YouTube. We've been banned from YouTube on several occasions. So I want to keep YouTube for basically advertising our content, which is always available on the website. Seen from history, you are doomed to repeat it. Yes, all those cliches are very true, actually. If you do not learn from history, you are doomed to repeat it. But a lot of people don't understand the sort of history that we're talking about. And that's really important, because there are no secrets and there is no secret agenda. Everything is out in the open. It is just stated in ways which are presented as a public benefit. And of course, the real reason is concealed in the words of the likes of the UN and their documents, anything that comes down from government, anything that comes down from think tanks, anything that comes down from NGOs through this unstructured global governance system, which most people don't see because they think it's too big and complicated, when in fact it's really simple. It's just one narrative that's being presented in a word salad of communitarianism, which basically means that there is a overarching system which brings in a thing through these organizations called consensus. It's always happened, but it's now got very slick and very simple and actually very dumb. It's very, very dumb what's going on. For instance, here's a quote from an advert which was put on Facebook from April. This is from the World Bank, by the way. From April 2020 to June 2021, the World Bank Group provided $157 billion to, wait for it, help countries to move from the COVID-19, wait for it, crisis to a green, resilient, and inclusive recovery. Now, on face value, you would think, well, that sounds like a good thing. But once you understand the terminology and the language, you realize that the World Bank has hijacked the world, pumped all this money into governments, basically on the back of the biggest financial fraud ever and the biggest, let's say, deception in world history for a green, resilient, and inclusive recovery. Well, resilient just means police state. Resilient basically means what's happening in Australia, resilient cities. Inclusive means if you agree with us and you are going to be injected and you're going to go along with our biometric security system and be part of our Internet of Things, we're going to include you. Otherwise, it's not looking too good. That's what they're saying. The problem is the public have not got the discretion to even understand this very basic language. And that's really important at the moment because it's mimetic warfare, nothing more, nothing less. The real and the stated goals, as we outlined in the last show and many times before, are at the heart of the coercion, along with the hive mind recruitment of, yes, communitarianism, this idea of the big global community, this idea that everything has a consensus, this idea that you're a global citizen, this idea of centralization in an unstructured global governance system. Yes, as stated in last week's show, in the Brotherhood of Cain, our hypocrisy will be consistent. This is a so-called conspiracy theory, which is actually a plan which is being executed at this very moment and has been executed over the last 100 years. They state we are despots. Only despotic leaders can carry out a big plan. Very true. You have to be audacious to get away with this level of fraud and lies. All power, they say, will be concentrated in a single body. Ruthless suppression of dissent. And we see that everywhere. Debate doesn't work. This is the view of the Global Action Plan. Promote freedom and use it against them. That's exactly what diversity means. They follow astrology charts and football. These people think the public are stupid. Freedom will make them weak. Politics has nothing to do with morals. Only force gives power. Violence and deception must be the rule of any leader who wants to stay in power. In nature, there is no equality or freedom. So we're going to be getting into those subjects tonight. I've been looking at some intellectual papers which put forward different theories on how biblical concepts were used to instruct law until it became commercial. And then we get the rule of the sea and all the rest of it. We don't need to get too complicated. History will be rewritten to our advantage only, they say. Men live and are guided by ideas. We will absorb and appropriate all independent thought, which is exactly what the communitarian system is all about. That has been going on for the last 30 years. But the precursor to all that was a type of thinking which is linked into empire, but it's much bigger than empire. It's global. It's not nationalist. It's not internationalist. It's globalist. So we're going to be getting into all that tonight. I'm just going to have a quick look at some of the comments and then I'll be getting on with the show because we haven't actually got that much time. Stay free and organic. That's a great idea, isn't it? Yeah, as long as possible. Will Malcolm make an appearance? Actually, Paul, Malcolm is making an appearance tonight. Yes, common law Malcolm will be there for a bit of light relief, or, well, what could you say? Frustration, really. But there are so many common law Malcolms being bred that it is beyond a joke. Yes. Only global cult I joined is the Spice Girls. Great. Well, yeah, we've got to keep it a little bit light, haven't we? You best organise your own Nuremberg trials because the judiciary is part of the beast system. Well, we know that's what we're going to be talking about. And we are going to be talking about the Noahide laws and how they are applied. So, Freeman Noahide 2030, you might like tonight's show. Appreciate all the work. Thank you. Spice Girls, someone's. Scott, I think that's Scott from Holyhead in North Wales, unless it's another Scott. Hope you are getting on all right there, Scott. Love always wins. Be patient. Well, yes, hopefully that's going to happen. So do join me at 9:30 p.m. this Sunday and every Sunday. Please subscribe to us on Odyssey. And as a final note, anybody who supports us on Patreon is going to be able to download sections of the new film plus other stuff. I've realized I cannot upload video onto Patreon, which I thought I could do last night. Then I found out I couldn't. So we're going to have downloads. So everybody who has supplied an email through Patreon and anybody else who contributes to us through PayPal will get a download for free video downloads, basically, for the new film. And also, I'm going to be putting some other stuff out for people who support us. I think it's about time I did. And yes, the film is going to be out soon. I've been working really hard on that and keeping up with all of the information that's been sent. We have a Discord server where there are fascinating pieces of information and interactions going on all the time. All the links are on the homepage at windowsontheworld.net. Yeah, there's some good comments here. I always like the comments. Yes, I will be tracking the comments, and also I will be live at 9:30 p.m. UK time this Sunday. And yes, every Sunday. The reason I keep reiterating this is people still put points on, like someone did earlier. Basically, like, are you doing live streams? Well, we do one every Sunday. Yes, 9:30 p.m. windowsontheworld.net live shows page, full archive there. Please subscribe to us on Odyssey. All links are on the home page. So thanks a lot, everybody. And great. Do join us this week and every week. Thank you very much.